Hello, everybody. Welcome to LAIR, Live Arts in Resistance Virtual. It is a great pleasure to be with you guys tonight. But first of all, let me tell you my name. My name is Jose Navarrete, and I work at East Side Arts Alliance. And tonight is a special night. Is the first event that we are going to present in this platform. We have 4 more events coming up. Please keep in touch with us. What is special tonight? What I wanted to say is that today we are collaborating with World Art West, the International Ethnic Dance Festival of San Francisco. And it is a great pleasure because this institution has been working for so many years, bringing culture and tradition and in our great Bay Area. So we feel really, really honored to be working with the World Art West. And so we are really happy to be here. I want to introduce the artistic director, the executive director of the World Art West, Ann Wan. Hello, Ann Wan. Great to see you. Just I wanted to say something personal about Anne because actually I know her for a long time. We were taking classes, Afro-Cuban classes with Jose Barroso, and we were dancing together for many years, and it has been a great pleasure to be dancing with her and also be a friend of her. I want to say that Anne has been an amazing advocate for our community, especially for people of color community, to have places of power to create a, identity as well as representation of our cultures. And she has been one of the important people to advocate for that. So I really welcome Anne and the World Art West coming to work with us. We are going to have an amazing conversation with one of the most legendary artists of the Bay Area. He's from Africa, but he's with us. He moved to the Bay Area to create like an amazing work. But Anne will have a proper introduction. Anyway, so it is a great pleasure to present CK, Ladzekpo, Baba. Please welcome, and please welcome, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for the amazing introduction, Jose. My name is Ann Huang, and I am the Executive Director of World Arts West. Over the years, I have heard so many amazing stories from cultural artists in the backstage of the San Francisco Ethnic Dance Festival, our flagship program. Our organization has been around since 1978, started as a small grassroots organization. Now we serve the largest world dance network in the country. It's been my longtime dream to share some of these amazing cultural stories that often have a very strong social justice theme with our community at large. So this is our first of that effort. Our partnership with Eastside Arts Alliance and Naka Dance Theater. I'll be interviewing 5 cultural artists. So without further ado, I want to introduce Dr. CK Ladzekpo to the interview today. Baba CK is a tremendous African music and dance pioneer in the United States and beyond. He was the very first professional artist from Africa to immigrate and settle here to the Bay Area. Was also instrumental in starting the African Music Program at UC Berkeley, as well as the very first African Cultural Festival in the Bay Area. And of course, has served as countless mentor for many younger artists. Welcome, Baba CK Ladzekpo, to our interview today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So to get started, let's start from the very beginning. Why don't you please tell us where and when were you born?
Anyway, let me start first with a prayer. Libation. Libation is a long evolving tradition of the African people.
Mm-hmm.
It is the invocation of the ancestors to witness whatever we are doing. So here is my libation to start with. So anugbe oiro. Oh, ewa nugbe oiro. Dalala tutu ewa evanwa. Nkula tutu ewa evanwa. Oh, ewa anugbe oiro. So ewa nugbe oiro. Oh, ewa anugbe oiro. Dalala tutu ewa evanwa. Nkula tutu ewa evanwa. Oh, ewa nugbe oiro. Yeah, my name is Ladzekpo. Now, the C and the K are initials. The C I don't use, but since it's part of my whole official record, my friends in Ghana several years ago decided to change my name, my initials. The C, probably if you know me in official circle, you know what it is. I don't normally use it publicly, but the K is Kwawu. Kwawu, I was born on a Thursday, which my name will have among the Ewe people, my people, would have been Yao. But my father was also Yao. And there is already another Yao Jr. in the family. So Kwawu is the next in line for my name. So that was my name. So CK, the C, there is a story behind why I don't use it. And I'm going to say colonization. Ghana was a British colony for several years. Now, the British, the name that they give their kids from birth was what they used when they baptized them. But the African kid, because one of the colonial policies is to make sure that we lose our identity as Ghanaians, as African people, they force us to change our name. So there is the whole system of Christian names. The name C is a Christian name. I have nothing against Christianity, but I have something against somebody trying to change my identity. That is why I don't use it. I will talk a little bit about colonization later.
Baba, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the kind of family you grew up in. Debbie, can we show that the family photos, the black and white photos, starting with the Britannia? Great. Baba, do you want to talk a little bit about these photos? There's 3 of them. Let us know if you want to go to 1, 2, 3. Who are some of the folks that we see in these pictures?
This was one of the only pictures that I know that my dad is in the picture. This was in 1926, way before I was born. My dad is second from the right, our right. and wearing some kind of a belt over his shirt. He was the leader and composer of a music that they named, a music and dance that they named Britannia. On the very, our left is my great uncle, Bogo Ladzekpo. And in the middle is Tobi Apewu Zokoto, the chief of Anyako. I think this was after a performance of Britannia, and the man took a picture.
Tell us a little, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about growing up in the family that you grew up in, because you grew up, your father and your relative, your father, right, was a very important tribal elder. What was it like growing up in that family, in that community? You had talked about seeing some council meetings. Give us a little picture of what it was like being a child of that setting.
That generation in that picture, my father's generation, I consider to be the last of the great Africans. My generation and onward, I don't know what we are. Now, say in America here, we have the American dream, and then we all keep chasing it. My father's generation, their dream is a spiritual growth dream. The material world is different for them. Now, they let us go into the colonial organized school system because they want us to grow in the world that conquered them. He told me it was an act of love. They don't want us to feel strange in the world that we are growing in. So we went to the Western schools and move on. Now, growing up in Anyako, that's the island of my birth. And going to school, every day in school, I get a spanking because we were not supposed to attend or see any kind of traditional drumming and dancing. And I can't help it. I came out of a family that there are always drumming and dancing happening. So whenever I go to school, the first thing that happened will be that I get some few lashes. I got used to it. I don't feel the pain anymore. But then it's not the physical pain. It's what is happening inside you. The anger building up all the time when somebody is trying to remove you away from your culture. It was not a pleasant childhood, and we grew up faster than kids. I was born at the tail end of the Second World War. And the whole revolution to be independent was going on. So we were pushed into adult world before we grew up. I don't know how to be a kid, a child playing in the sand or whatever that other kids used to do. I was an adult when I was a kid. Ghana, however, became independent in 1957. I was 13, but I was down there like as if I was a grown-up because that's the way we grew up. Now, having a good education was very important to my dad. So he made us go to school and work hard. So that is kind of like a little bit of how I grew up. When I said spiritual growth, those people, it's a matter of the mind, their brain. They have a brain and they are supposed to have a very large capacity for retentive memory also. They can tell you genealogy probably 1,000 years back without missing a step. I don't think our generation, we are used to seeing things on paper, written down. We don't have that kind of a mind. That's one of the things about reading and writing. You depend on the paper instead of retaining the materials. But then I have a whole village that raised me. It takes a village to raise the kids in my community. Meaning, the whole village is spanking you also if you if you do something wrong, but they are guiding you. A whole village. So the love that I have from a whole village was enough for me to overcome a lot of the distractions that happened to me in school. I love drumming. The drum was very important to me. So despite the spankings, I will still play the drums. I think my elder brothers, Kobla, who was the very earliest people, African, to bring drumming and dancing to the United States. Mm. We went to Colombia, and then with the whole world music faculty moved down to Valencia when California Institute of the Art was established. Him and my brother Alfred. There are some pictures down there that you will see the 4 Ladzekpo brothers who came down to the US. Kobla was the first, then Alfred.
Before we move a little bit later on, you've spoken so movingly about growing up in this village. Maybe we could take a look at the video for just a minute or two to give us a picture of what it was like to grow up with this loving community and village that you've really spoken about. Debbie, can you see that video? Do you have it queued up?
Now that was at my back, at the back of the house that I grew up in, the Ladzekpo family home. But the video was dragging, so it was incoherent. Now, hopefully, Debbie can correct it, and then we can see the video later properly. Now, Akpata, that's the area we call Akpata. There used to be a lot of cement blocks packed down there. Akpa is cement block. So it became known as Akpata, where drumming and dancing happens. Now the community performing down there is from Adotri. They came to Lanshibi, my community, to perform. And the occasion was a memorial in memory of my elder brother, great master drummer, Usunu Afadi, Ladzekpo. It was in memory of him. So the community came, several communities came to play. So that's what that video is about. Now, in a communal society, believe me, everybody can dance. That doesn't mean that everybody is a good dancer. It's a mixture of good dancers and bad dancers, or a medium. Everybody, since everybody has to participate, you cannot stop people. Everybody, even people mentally challenged. I have a story. I was in Anyako with Malonga Center, the great Malonga Center from the Congo, and the great Sanu Kiboko from Guinea, the artistic director for the choreographer for Guinea Ballet Africain. We spent some time in Anyako and in Ghana generally, but we always will run to Anyako since that's my hometown. Now, we saw a community playing drum there, and there was this woman being very creative. So Sanu was really very taken up with the whole creativity and said, Sike, we need to take her to America. I said, to do what? We were then creating the production Kusum Africa. So we will be bringing some people from Ghana down here. So I look at her and I said, why do you think we should bring her? She's a good dancer. I said, no, she's a crazy woman. Doing whatever, but she's not doing what the tradition wants, because she's just doing her own stuff. Now, you see, that was a great choreographer and saw creativity and said, but he didn't know that that woman was a crazy woman. So a warning for all those who travel down into traditions in Africa, you need to find out from a very well qualified people who to model. You might be modeling one of the best dancers, or one of the worst dancers, or even a crazy woman. And then you bring them to America and bother me with it.
Baba, you were about to, before we saw the video, you were talking about coming of age around the independence of Ghana, 1957. And tell me a little bit about, becoming an adult during that time in the 1960s, you stay the village? Did you leave and eventually come to the United States? Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Becoming an adult. I was 13 years old when Ghana became independent. But I was kind of like, I behaved like I was 30. Now, but I was still young. Now, in 1963, I left Irvine to Accra, the capital city, and started a whole new life. In Accra, at the art center, my brothers have the teaching and playing drum and all that, and I accompanied them there and saw what was going on. I discovered my drumstick. That's proverbial. My drumstick in Accra. I found out that what I've been doing in Nanyako, free of charge, for nothing, I can make money doing it. So I took it seriously and I joined some of the amateur dance companies. During that time, there are only two professional companies, the Ghana Dance Ensemble, which is at the Institute of African Studies, Legon, and the Art Council Folkloric Group. But every other group is volunteer distance. So I joined one of them. Not that I really joined them. I needed to make money. So I negotiated a little bit change. Each time I go to rehearsal to help them play drum and teach some few movement, and started making friends. My best friend, George Jikuru, was in a group called Ghana Theatre Company. For a while, we decided to form our own group. So we joined forces with a very notable family, the Adi family. And I hope Yakub Adi is still alive. He passed away. But my friend, Mustafa Tata Adi, I hope you are watching me talk about you. We joined forces and formed a group called Asheduka Katakra Cultural Troupe. Now, what we did in Accra during those days, I did not know that it is called we will take a lot of young people who are distracted, don't have that much education, so they are in the street, and train them. Now, as soon as they did their first performance, self-esteem, they become very centered and move on. A lot of them have become professional drummers and dancers in Europe. And I hope they're listening to me talk about them. We train young people. So it was very easy for me when I came down here and found out what was going on at East Bay Center for the Performing Arts. I said, well, it's the same thing I was doing in Accra. So I was back home there again. The young people were the focus. We helped them to discover themselves and discover a world beyond wherever they are and their limitations.
What you also spoke about is for your generation, we young people growing up in British colonial society after independence, really embracing your African culture in a really big way through music and dance, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, at Legon, maybe you can show the picture, Ghana Dance Ensemble.
Debbie?
Can show that photograph. At the Institute of African Studies, Ghana became independent in 1957. Ghana has so many tribes. Now this picture is Kusum, Africa. They are black and white. No. Let me be talking as you search for it. The first president of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Not that one. Yes, this is one of them.
And then the next one.
And this is another one too. Yeah, it could
This
be
one.
either of them. But all these people, drummers, come from different tribes of Ghana. They brought them all together and asked them to teach each other their culture. Before, most all those tribes have stereotypes for one another. They don't have respect for one another. But this program brings them together to come to get to know each other and play each other's creative drumming, dancing from their tribe, brought respect, understanding, and peace. So it made it this kind of approach, sharing each other's cultural experiences, keep Ghana safe. The kind of tribal misunderstanding and battles that are happening in other parts of West Africa, Ghana was spared because using the traditional drumming, dancing to bring people together, sharing each other's culture, they see the wisdom in each other, and peace represent maybe similar to what World Out West is doing, bringing different cultures together to become much more connected and understanding one another.
Absolutely. This is a great segue. You're now an adult in Accra in the 60s and 70s. Tell us, how did you end up coming to the United States, and why the Bay Area?
Why the Bay Area?
Yeah, how did you come?
I was teaching at the School of Music, Dance, and Drama, now called School of Performing Arts, University of Ghana. And I taught students and faculty from the music department at UC Berkeley. Now, so when they came back, Professor Ollie Wilson, who led the delegation, was very impressed, probably, with what I do and what I represent. So he recommended me strongly, and I got my first contract to UC Berkeley. That is why it was UC Berkeley. When I came, the department was before purely Western classical music. My coming changed that. Then that for the whole ethnomusicology program followed that. The faculty was welcoming to a degree, but not totally to accommodate all what I can do or what I think I should be doing. So I moved my program. The program was there. I'll go teach my classes, but I went into the community in Oakland and started teaching and organizing. Then my brother Koku, who was then in New York, joined me. He was my mother's last born right after me. Together, we became a force. We started teaching, organizing. The first African music and dance, African festival, cultural festival, was in 1978.
That was in Oakland.
In Oakland. It changed the dynamics. Over the years, Oakland became the epicenter of African dance in America because of the work that we started along with my best friend who passed away, Malonga Center, Zach Doof, who is still here with me. Naomi, Zach's wife. We work day and night. Now, we have some other younger Africans who came to join us. Alassane Kane, who is now in Senegal back. And then Abdoulaye. That guy can hit some djembe. Ooh. There is nothing compared to artist-run organizations who do their own productions. That was the Mandela Institute or the African Heritage Coalition. Now, what made that work for us is the friendship and the respect that those artists have for each other. Without that, nothing would have happened. The Malonga Center, let me go a little bit here. The Malonga Center used to be called Alice Art Center. It used to be a women's gym before. My brother Koku and myself broke in, cleaned the courtroom, and used it for our offices. We were squatters. Now you are a squatter if you don't really have the permission to use the place. Now the homelessness for the arts, we have nowhere to practice. We have nowhere for an office. How can you even sit down to write a grant if you don't even have a chair or a table? So we moved in. Oakland Ensemble Theater, this history, came using the theater. They have a key. So we asked Ben Ambush. I don't know where Ben is right now, and thank you for giving us a copy of the key illegally. Then the mayor of Oakland was Mayor Radins I don't even think a lot of people will remember that. He was a white dude who loved to support all of us, including us, the Africans. Eventually, through a lot of activism, screaming social justice, we were able to change the way and manner the Oakland grant, cultural grant function. Before, it was 90% of the whole fund go to 3 Euro cultural organizations, the ballet, the symphony, and the orchestra. The 90% remain for all the rest of us. And it's not enough, so we're scratching each other's faces and fighting. So through the Mandela Institute, we were able to stop the fighting and say, come on, let's work together and move in onto City Hall and get that change, and we change it. So when you apply for a grant in the city of Oakland, then now your project is the strength of what, not which race you come from. That was the work of the Mandela Institute. But we didn't do it alone. We have a lot of collaborators. A lot of people are going to shock about what I'm about to say right now. One of those collaborators was the Dance Brigade.
Wow,
Yes.
really? Chrissy Kiefer, okay.
They moved to Oakland briefly. And you know what? Those ladies were powerful advocates. They were always in the city hall. Collaborating with them was one of the best and productive things we ever did. We changed Oakland's cultural grant making process. Now, but then they cooked the food, but they did not wait to eat it. They went back to San Francisco and still doing great work in the mission. And I would like to say thank you for your help and your guidance and advocacy.
Now, Baba, you've talked at length about the concept of community and family to you, right? Mm-hmm. So I know you wanted to talk, for you told me that family is not always biological family, really the whole community, that concept of family. I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about that, your family, your students, what does family and community mean to you? And let us know if you want Debbie to kind of show any of the photos we've reviewed.
Betty, where are you? Come on. Now, family is a very important thing for us. First, I saw this beautiful lady at UC Berkeley in 1974. She came to audition for the African Music Ensemble class. I saw her and I said, I'm going to marry you. And she thought I was crazy. Now, what she didn't know is that I have a lot of patience. And I have the patience to fight for whatever I think I need. We got married in 1978.
Let's take a look at that wedding photo, Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
Keep talking.
Okay, yeah, that's my wedding in 1978. Will you believe that? I have a lot of hair. Yeah, there is no more hair anyway. family, my original African music and dance ensemble came out of my classes at UC Berkeley. We are all become family. We raise our kids together as cousins, and that extended even to my friends, Malonga. All his kids and my nephew and nieces, and cousins to my daughters. I have 2 daughters. Yeah. Now, every first of the year, our family, when I say our family, is the whole extended. We meet down here in our house and have a get together. We share food together, play card, ooh, and we can talk. When you play card with us, you will have to have tough skin because we talk a lot. Not nice. We play card very loudly. No, we started from the 70s and we carry that with whatever modification until now. You want to say something?
Hey, I don't know.
About the family.
Well, yeah, it's true. You know, for a long time, some of the people who were dancers and musicians in our African music and dance ensemble, as we started having our children and having families, the kids did not know that we weren't actually related biologically. And I'll never forget this one child that was in our, well, the parents were the part of our group, and he said, "Why don't we go down to Uncle CK's and Auntie Betty's for Thanksgiving?" And so the mother said, "But they're having dinner with their own family." So he said, "Well, isn't that our family?" He said, "Well, we're not actually related. We call each other family." And he was so distraught. He got on his bicycle and rode all the way to our house and came in and says, "Uncle CK, please tell me. I don't understand. My mom said we're not really family." And so we had to explain to him that we are family, but extended family. So, and even now, our kids, they all call each other cousins.
Yeah.
And we always do things together.
I wonder if you could talk a little bit about part of a very important part of your family is a very large community of younger artists that you mentor. I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about what it means to you to be a mentor of so many younger artists. What does that mean to you, your legacy?
Now, there are all kind of great young artists who are professionals themselves. Like with me, Koku, I think Koku is here. Koku is kind of like my son. He's everywhere with me. You could, when I go down to the festival, without him, I feel lost. Kwesi Anku, Francis Akotwa, great drummers and dancers. But they are kind of like my nephews. That's the way they call me. They call me Toria. Toria in Ewe is uncle. That is younger than your father, Toria. Togan will be uncle older than your own father. So they call me Toria. Most people call me Toria and they don't know what it meant. So I am uncle to a lot of people. The Kiezi, Malonga, Mario Doof, those two young people, I saw them as babies as they grew up. I will not be mistaken to say that Kiesi Malonga is standing on several shoulders. So he is better than the father. I know the father very well. He was my best friend. The kind of Bay Area growth that Mario has, Mario can hit that djembe so much that the father will take one look at him and say, I've done a good job. Sure, he's done a good job. But Mario is standing on several shoulders. The Bay Area gave them much more than their fathers experienced in the little villages that they grew up in. Though I'm not saying that their knowledge surpassed them, I said their physical performance. Woo! I mean, you cannot believe the future.
Speaking of the future, we're coming towards the end of the hour. I want to just share a quote that you shared with me during our last conversation about being a mentor. You told me, when I asked you, how does it feel to be a mentor of so many younger artists? You said, it feels my responsibility to make sure that my footprint through this earth is big and strong enough to last. The footprint lasts longer when it is carried by other human beings. What I am all about is sharing African culture to keep peace in the world. The stories of colonialism and slavery are not told by families of enslaved back home. We cannot repair the damage until we let people know that we are humans. Through our cultural experiences, we become more aware of our international obligations. I want to just thank you so much, Baba. And I'd like to bring Jose back on camera. Baba, I'm wondering, Baba and Betty, if there are any, I know our interview really is a 4-part PBS documentary.
Yes, it is.
We can only cover so much, so much. Yeah.
Right.
Any other sort of last pearls of wisdom you'd like to share with us, Baba, before we, go off?
We are in a very dangerous part of the world right now. The moment. Sure, COVID-19 has changed our world. And then we see a lot of intolerance. I will not call it racism for now. Intolerance from a lot of people. The work that World Outways does, trying to bring different cultures together to get to know one another, is a very important thing. The stereotypes that we have for each other will melt away if we get to come to know each other through our culture, through our dance, through our music. Respect comes, and respect comes with love. And loving one another, we can become much more aware of our national and international obligation as people of the world.
Thank you. That is such a great, great message to end the interview. And for those who are watching, speaking of War Arts West, if you like this program and would like to support War Arts West, please go to our website, worldartswest.org. Debbie is also going to provide a link for donations. Feel free to give us support, donation at the amount that is doable for you. And we're going to bring Jose back in to close out today's session.
Thank you so much, everybody. Baba, CK, Mama, Betty, thank you so much for your presence. It's so powerful to be with you guys. It has been, I mean, there is so much that we can share, but one of the things that you really keep me warm, my heart warm, is the amazing knowledge that you have brought us to the Bay Area. And I'm just like thinking about the vibration of your music, of your dances, of your words are really it's a healing thing for our community, especially our community that has been destroyed by colonization and slavery. I truly, truly appreciate that. Thank you so much. And just I wanted to say that this program, we are going to present an amazing international artist that have been impacting our great Bay Area. So please stay in tune. Charia Birds is going to come next. Alleluia Panis is coming. Victor Torres and Kwasi Malonga is also be joining us. So please stay in tune. And please, if you have a little spread of money, please help us, because I think that will allow us to continue doing this amazing program. Also, Eastside has a donation button in her website, in the website. So it's eastsideartsalliance.org. Also, you can donate to us. I think, thank you, Anne, for this an amazing opportunity, bringing these amazing international artists and treasures of us, for us and for the community. I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate that. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Baba, for all that you do for our community in the world. Thank you, Auntie Betty. Really, 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 really love you and appreciate you.
One last thing, we need to thank the ASL interpreters. They have been with us. Please, thank you so much for your support. And also Devi Kajiyama, that she's supporting us backstage. So thank you very much, Devi, for all this amazing work. I think that's all. Thank you so much, and be safe.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.